A record number of Americans favor a new political party.
57% of Americans still believe a third major political party is necessary.
Voting third party is a wasted vote? Bullshit. This is the establishment's most successful lie in modern politics. America is the only major country with free elections to only have two viable options. Not anymore. The Libertarian Party is the fastest growing political party in America and will be on the ballot in all 50 states. And when we talk about winning, we don't just mean winning the White House. There's all kinds of wins you can have in your state if you vote Libertarian today. We can win ballot access that makes it easier for future candidates to run for office. We can win major party status that gives us more attention from the major media.
I think it's a great day to be a Libertarian.
And we could have Libertarians getting elected all over the country in local races. Whenever Libertarian candidates are able to break through the mainstream media blackout, our support grows. In my televised debate with Senator Raphael Warnock, I was able to reach out to millions of voters. Many of them realized that they were Libertarian all along and just didn't know it.
Why is that the radical idea, not the rational idea?
If you live in a solid blue or a solid red state, voting for Trump or Biden is a wasted vote, and it won't change the outcome. Voting Libertarian is the only way to make your vote truly count. Currently, all the two major parties have to do is be slightly less evil than the other side to win. Let's make the statement that we will accept no evil. When someone tells you you're wasting your vote, recognize that they don't care about you. It's a selfish statement. They are saying that your beliefs are worth being represented, that you should silence your voice so theirs can be louder. Vote your conscience, not someone else's politics. Breaking up the duopoly is the only chance for the real radical change needed to give the power back to you, the people. Voting for Chase Oliver for president will contribute to bringing more choices into our political system. A successful third party forces the two old parties to think about the issues Americans truly care about. Keep them honest. Show them they must earn your vote. Change begins at the grassroots.
I'm Chase Oliver, a candidate for president, and I approve this message.
We have 20th century politicians who have been running the 21st century mechanisms of government for my entire adult life, and it's time for that to stop.
And the people are getting tired of it. Rise up, because we will not be silenced.
Instead of just talking about liberty, we go across the country, reaching out to activists to show what liberty in action actually looks like. That's the kind of campaign for president we're running. One that shows us the positive, aspirational message of liberty that voters can connect with.
All people are free. They have inherent freedom and liberty.
We support liberty 100% unfiltered all the time.
I've gotten tear gas in the streets while I protest for justice reform.
My generation is the generation that got sent to fight the war on terror. My generation is the generation that had the entire real estate market fall out from underneath us right as we were getting started. It's my generation that is right now trying to raise families all over the country with massive runaway inflation.
This is not a left versus right issue. This is a right versus wrong issue.
The Chase Oliver President campaign will be pulling no punches. We'll be putting a bold message of liberty forward that voters can identify with. We'll be exposing the two-party system for who they are.
Are you actually reading the bills, or are you just taking Chuck Schumer's word for it when you vote on these things? I will fight like hell to make sure that each and every one of you is replaced.
We libertarians, we want to enter this race to be a check against the two-party system and to give you somebody honest to vote for.
Why is that the radical idea, not the rational idea?
Nobody will buy and pay for a libertarian. We don't just blow with the political winds with whatever's popular. We stand on principle. And I say as a libertarian, we do not believe in the initiation of force.
Take the boot off of our neck, support freedom, and support the people. Thank you very much. I'm Chase Oliver, a candidate for president, and I approve this message.
No candidate receives over 50%. Then the top two candidates head to a runoff. Now we know this race will head to a runoff.
New focus on the influence of libertarians in Georgia's Senate race. There's another player in the mix.
Voters deserve a chance to have their voices heard, and they shouldn't have to be lumped into one box or the other and have to be shamed into voting into two parties.
These two major parties aren't addressing their pain.
The CBO themselves said the Inflation Reduction Act wouldn't actually reduce inflation. Are you actually reading the bills, or are you just taking Chuck Schumer's word for it when you vote on these things? We obviously need to audit the Fed. And once people get a little bit more education about what the Federal Reserve does, they'll want to see it ended. You know, we claim to be the light of liberty unto the world, and if we seek to hold that mantle, we have to fix our broken immigration system. Big Pharma is subsidized to the tune of billions of dollars a year by our government. The only thing Democrats and Republicans can agree on is how to spend your money out of thin air and devalue our dollar. We need to bring market forces into healthcare that are going to lower the prices. I believe that we need true justice reform at every level, from the police to the courts to the prosecutors. And we need to do away with mandatory minimums. We need to do away with qualified immunity so that law enforcement can be held accountable in a court of law just like any of us. And that's something that I fought for. I've gotten tear gas in the streets while I protest for justice reform. Don't take politicians' advice for your health care. Take your doctor's advice. Why is that the radical idea and not the rational idea? I want to take power out of the hands of government and return it to each and every one of you, because that's where it resides.
If not voted was actually on the ballot, they would win nearly every election in this country.
Most of the people who vote represent themselves as independent, so it's important that we have voices that are independent of the two parties on stage. I want you to be able to start a small business. I want you to have control over your own body. And I want you to be able to live your life as your authentic self in peace. I'm Chase Oliver, a candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Okay. Hey everyone, Chase Oliver, Libertarian candidate for President of the United States here. And where am I at? I'm in the registry room at Ellis Island in New York. This is where millions and millions of immigrants came to this country seeking a better life and new opportunity. And that's exactly what we need to be doing for immigrants here today. We need to be welcoming immigrants. Over 12 million came through these doors and were in these halls to start their life and their journey and their American dream. And we need to support Ellis Island style of immigration. If you want to come here and work, put down your roots and start your American dream, that's all that we should be asking of you. And we should be allowing more and more peaceful people to come here and start their journey towards their American dream, just like our ancestors did. In fact, 40% of Americans can trace their ancestry right here to this room at Ellis Island. And we need to get back to supporting and loving our immigrant neighbors. If you like this idea, if you like this message, go to votechaseoliver.com and join the campaign.